Well, good afternoon, and welcome to the fourth of the presentations for the Edelman competition. Just a few announcements before we begin. My name's Michael Trick. I am the chair of the judging panel. First, this session is being recorded, and so please turn off your cell phones, or your cell phone will be recorded for all time. No other recording or live streaming, please. We'll have a wonderful professional video available after the conference. Because of the recording, we ask that you try not to move around very much, and if you, for whatever reason, do have to leave, please note you won't be allowed back in, although this is being simulcast in another room. After the 40-minute presentation, there will be 10 minutes for questions. The questions will be coming from the judging panel only. So it is my pleasure to introduce the fourth finalist, the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank the Honorable Committee of Edelman Award and the Informs organization for giving us this opportunity to present the remarkable changes that our projects have had brought to millions of faithful pilgrims today. I am Dr. Habib Zain Al-Abidin from Saudi Arabia. I am Deputy Minister and I am the head of the Central Directory for Development of Projects at the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I have obtained all my bachelor, my Master of Science and my doctor degree in Germany. And I was a professor of structural engineer and project management at different Saudi universities. I have advanced also in the government from the post of engineer to the first deputy minister at the Ministry of Public Works and Housing, and later on in the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs. Our ministry managed the construction of multi-billion US dollar infrastructure projects around the holy site of Mecca, also guided the research. I guided the research also at least 20 years on the improvement of pilgrim safety while performing their duties. Before we go into details, let me just show you a brief introductory video on pilgrim and its challenging as well as the difficulties and accidents that pilgrim used to face before 20 years ago.
The number of Muslims in the world is estimated at 1.7 billion. They are spread over 155 countries. By Islam's principles, each adult Muslim who is physically and financially capable is obligated to perform Hajj pilgrimage to Makkah once in his lifetime. This is mandatory in order to fulfill the fifth pillar of the Islamic religion. Nearly 4 to 5 million pilgrims from outside and inside Saudi Arabia can perform Hajj at the present time. With the constraints of limited time and location's capacity, following the steps of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, performing pilgrimage rituals commence on the 8th of Dhul al-Hijjah, the 12th month of the lunar calendar. Pilgrims arrive at the Holy Mosque in Makkah. Hence go to Mina to spend the 8th day and then head to Arafat to spend the 9th day in supplication. After sunset, they head to Muzdalifah till midnight or sunrise. Hereafter, pilgrims go to Mina to spend 3 to 4 days, 10th, 11th, 12th and 13th, feasting and worshipping, during which they stone the devil at 3 symbolic pillars in the Jamarat area. Every year, enormous efforts continue to be undertaken and adopted by the government of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Many mega projects were carried out. Most distinguished ones were executed and implemented by the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs, such as fireproof tents for housing pilgrims in the Mina Valley, Al-Mashar Metro Southern Line, which has eased transportation, and long time waiting for lines of buses is another important project which reduced hours of waiting to merely minutes to move the passengers between the holy sites. As for the old Jamarat Bridge, there was a dire situation which caused panic and accidents leading to deaths and injuries due to overcrowding and stampedes. The main causes of these accidents in performing this ritual were as follows. The old Jamarat Bridge had a limited capacity. The improper circular shape of the stoning basin, which prevented smooth flow of pilgrims around. Failure to regulate the eastern Jamarat Plaza of pedestrian flows and overlapping vehicles and pedestrians. Squatters blocked approaches to Jamarat for others. Lack of designated working locations for operators, security, and emergency services. The absence of control scheduling programs and effective implementation, and the lack of crowd management control and monitoring. The insistence of many pilgrims to stone the devil during a peak time on the 10th or 12th day at Jamarat. All of the above elements gathered to result in the last incident at the old entrance of Old Jamarat Bridge in 2006, where 364 pilgrims were killed and 385 were reported wounded. The incident was the result of deficiencies in the operation and crowd management system of Hajj. The system was improved by making use of operational research and management sciences in order to provide a full and comprehensive system for the pilgrims during their ritual performance, which included crowd management, scheduling control, and monitoring. Pilgrimage is a meeting of peace, mercy, and association. How can we prevent such crowd disasters?
This is to show you that between 1990 and 2006, around 2,400 died and 1,500 injured. I would like to summarize my presentation in 3 points. We had a problem. We did operation research, indicated the need for proper, suitable infrastructure with controlled scheduling and monitoring. We built the infrastructure and we did more operation research, indicated need for improvement, and I will show this later on. We did improve the improvement and monitored the performance, which is now very satisfactory, safe, and comfort. This is one very important thing. It was important to bring all the concerned parties together. Before this, our ministry began with the workshop, the very importance of the workshop, because if one work alone without having the other with him, the results will be either have a lot of shortcomings or it will not solve the problem. So we bring all the concerned ministries, operators, research staff from inside and outside the Saudi Arabian, pilgrim representative also, the consultant, contractors, etc. So I would like to say workshop are only way to achieve a good and sound decision. And this is my research team, Dr. Serwil from Aachen in Germany. He is doing every year the flow for the pedestrian and how they will come to the Jamarat and how they will go back. And the psychology is by Professor Schlag from Dresden University and Professor Knut Hase, who is for operation research, and Dr. Professor Helping for crowd management, and Dr. Serwil, our expert in the Ministry for crowd management. This is just to show you the case at noon time in Hajj 2006. The old Jamarat has only 2 stories, the ground floor and the first floor. And the first floor has only 1 ramp, which is hiding the entrance to the ground floor. So the crowd turbulence and shock wave, as you will see it here. So we have to do scientific basis with practical experiment and application. Computerized follow-up method gives good estimates for density, speed, and flows. Maximum density is the most important factor in the crowd safety. And this is for the all Jamarat, the red curve. It shows that the speed will never reach 0, while the other information in the old references showed that the speed will be to 0, and this is only in the traffic with cars. The unfortunate accident took place after 30 minutes from a rapid decrease of average flow below 0.8 person meter per second. The comprehensive solution to avoid Jamarat crowd disaster provide the new proper, suitable, and right infrastructure. Split the masses to a number of entrances and exits on different levels, and the one-way flow and redirection of flow according to demand. Operation research and management program scheduling, not only scheduling, but also controlling the scheduling. This is very important, because by the old Jamarat, there was scheduling, but not controlled. So the people doesn't follow it. Risk analysis and emergency plans. And we are doing every year awareness and guidance program and distributed between the Pilgrim and in 9 languages. Then we have to work as a teamwork, as I said before, and we have to train the people to their jobs. And this is very important, also separate pedestrian and vehicle traffics, and we have done 2 tunnels, one in the north, one in the south, underneath the new infrastructure, so that the cars for emergency, for services, and other cars will use the 2 tunnels. And we bring also the VIP and leader to the Jamarat by the 2 tunnels. And this is simulation done by Dr. Keith Still from from Britain, between the different 3 shapes: regular, irregular, elliptical shape, and circular. And we found with him together that the better one is the regular elliptical shape that have the dimension 40 meter length, 14 meter width, and we have a separation wall 12 meter, so that the people will go to the right and to the left. And this is, I would like to show you that the old East Jamarat Plaza was irregular. This is where the people is coming from their camp to the old Jamarat. It has a lot of shops and WC and so on, so the people is sitting there and making crowd very, very difficult. So we have this reorganized and suitable for the new infrastructure. So every street will come to the new structure, and we have built the first level with 2 ramps, so that we will not hide the entrance to the first floor. And this is the new Jamarat infrastructure. It has 6 levels, basement and 5 levels, 16 entrances, and 18 exits. And it has 100-meter span without any column in the middle. And we have used the so-called pre-stressed concrete to achieve this. And it has 6 towers for services and 11 towers with escalators and staircase. And it has 2 helipads, one in the north, one in the south, and the maximum capacity for stoning is 500,000 per hour, pilgrim per hour. And this is what I said before, Dr. Surwell is doing every year, how the people come to the the new infrastructure, and they go back to their camp from outside. And this is that we have done the new infrastructure, but we don't stop the controlling, monitoring. As you see here, in the first 2 years, the ground floor have from percentage that the people was doing the Jamarat 40 to 55%, and also the first floor 26 to 30%, and there are other level that used by 3-5% or 10% maximum. So we have done 3 projects to make the stabilization for using the different level. The first one is to solve the problem at the 5th level by having the new metro in Mina, which is elevated. As you see here, it is elevated, and it is like a new street, and it has a big capacity. But for the Jamarat, we could bring at least 55,000 persons per hour to the 5th floor. And it has 9 stations. The metro has 9 stations. In each holy place, 3 stations. It has these stations are elevated, and it has ramps, elevators, escalators, and staircase. And the second, we have an area in the north of Mina called Shu'aibain, and it has about 500,000 pilgrims. They have their camp there, and they're coming normally and use the ground floor and the first floor, and we make for them 2 tunnels, one for coming in and one going back. And this is very important, not making one tunnel for coming in and going back. It make accident again. So they come with tunnels and some bridges to the 4th level and go back to their camp by another tunnel. And the 3rd improvement, there is an area in Makkah called Aziziyah. It is near to Jamarat, and normally the people coming and going to the streets of Mina, which is very congested. So we have done for them again 2 tunnels. It is not a long one. In the Shu'aibain, we have done also elevator, like in the airport, so that the old people could. And this has shuttle bus services, and the people who would like to go by foot, they could go also by foot. It is very near and comfortable. So we have, after this 3 improvement, you see the last 2 years, 2013 and 14, the 5th level has between 14 and 21%. The 4th level have 14 to 17%, and the 3rd level have 9 to 13%, and it relieve actually the ground and first floor very good, from 55 to 28%, approximately the half. The total cost of this whole project is over 6 billion Saudi riyal, US dollar. Sorry. Now the next speaker is Professor Knut Haas. He is the director of the Institute for Transportation Economics at the University of Hamburg. Professor Haas and his team have developed an operation research based decision support system. In the following, he will explain in detail the approach for the Jamarat and Metro schedule and controlling the scheduling. So please.
Hello, everybody. To manage crowds safely, an operations research and web-based decision support system was developed using mixed integer programming, Mesoscopic simulation, tailored solution approaches, and an integrated database. The integrated database managed hundreds of relational tables. Those tables store an enormous amount of very useful information, such as thousands of geographical objects, millions of radio frequency identification and camera detections, as well as schedules for millions of pilgrims. You can imagine the scope and enormous challenge involved in data collection alone, which was carried out in 2006 under extreme time pressure. But rest assured, I am not here to talk about data collection. My presentation describes the methods we use in determining safe stoning timetables for millions of pilgrims. I will also sketch out our mesoscopic simulation approach to analyze safety. To mitigate uncontrollable situation during symbolic stoning of the devil at Jamarat, which pilgrims are dispatched according to schedules, by which each and every pilgrim is assigned a departure time from their respective camp, a stoning time, and a designated path. The schedules were obtained with a tailored fixed and optimized heuristic, incorporating linear and nonlinear mixed integer programs. The resulting solution can be seen as a trade-off between acceptance and schedule safety. More details will be given later in my presentation. Let me describe the data parameters of our models. The tent city of Mina is divided into so-called plots. Each plot contains several camps. Each camp is assigned one or more service offices in which the pilgrims from a country or an establishment are accommodated. A service officer acts like a travel agency. In total, we are talking about 1 million registered pilgrims, 230 plots, 800 camps, and 860 service offices. The pilgrims of a service office are put into groups of 250 pilgrims. Since the number of groups can vary depending on which stoning day, we schedule groups such that each group is assigned a specific day. In this example, we consider an office with 750 pilgrims, put into 3 groups. As only one group remains in Mina till the 13th day, we define 10 scheduling groups. The planning horizon is divided into 50-minute periods. During peak times, no group is scheduled to walk to Jamarat. Those who use metros cannot be scheduled during the metro maintenance times. In this way, we establish a set of assignable stoning periods for each scheduling group. For each plot, a distribution is given which indicates the pilgrim's preferred stoning times. These distributions are provided by the Ministry of Hajj. The preferences vary over time according to the pilgrim's cultural and religious background. Here we see the aggregated distribution related to the 10th and 11th day, where the empty spaces refer to the peak hours. For each scheduling group, we use the stoning time preferences to calculate a preferred stoning time period. If we assign to each scheduling group the preferred stoning time period, we would arrive at an optimal approximation of the plot time preference distribution for each service office. Thus, we minimize the sum of the squared deviations between the preferred and assigned stoning periods in our primary objective function. Using this approach, we avoid many constraints and a nonlinear objective function in modeling best closest adherence to the preference distributions. Taking into account the one-route system, we identified the assignable path for all the camps and developed a flexible resource concept by which each path is connected to a specific set of resources. For example, path P1A uses the Jamarat bridge, the fourth level of the bridge, and the Shore Basin tunnel. Next, we calculate resource capacity. The capacity of a resource is defined by the number of pilgrims per period. To be conservative, we multiply the street width by 3,500 to obtain the assumed street capacity per hour related to non-crowded flows. The design capacity of the metro is 3,000 pilgrims per train. Taking into account a headway time of 4 minutes into account, the metro capacity is 45,000 pilgrims per hour during the stoning days. The Jamarat Bridge itself could handle the population of San Francisco within 2 hours only. We define the non-negative variable U to measure the expected resource utilization for every period. A safe flow corresponds to a balanced and smooth resource utilization, which can be obtained by minimizing the squared resource utilization. Alternatively, and to avoid nonlinearity, we can limit the amount of resource fluctuation between succeeding periods. The fluctuation is presented by the variables V plus and V minus. The accepted increase or decrease is controlled by sigma parameter. Now we are prepared to formulate our pilgrim scheduling program. We have to assign to each scheduling group a path and a stoning time slot. For this, we define the binary variable y and x. We define the objective function to minimizing the level of dissatisfaction with the schedules. We define constraints by calculating the capacity utilization of the resources, limiting resource fluctuation, assigning a path, and stoning time period to each scheduling group. For safety, the capacity utilization is bounded by a parameter U dash. The solution of a relaxed quadratic program provides us with value for the minimum level of resource utilization. Using the scaling parameter lambda, we control the amount of feasible access on the lower boundary. As we can easily see here, the higher the value of lambda, the smaller is the upper boundary. The introduced mathematical models are embedded in a fixed and optimized heuristic. First, we determine the limit for the resource capacity by solving a quadratic program. We then assign to each scheduling group a path, and finally, we did assign to each scheduling group the final stoning time period. Our model contains more than 3 million variables and 75,000 equations. The gap to the lower bound limit is less than 2%, and the solution time doesn't exceed 15 minutes. We face a trade-off between safety and acceptance. Our scaling parameter lambda and sigma determine whether we obtain a more safe or a more accepted solution. Thus, we will be shown on the following two slides. The impact of lambda is illustrated by these figures. On the left, we compare two resource profiles for different lambda settings. On the right, there is an acceptance statistic. The upper resource profile shows a dangerous situation caused by a low lambda. The lower resource profile is considered safe. But this solution has only few scheduling groups who can perform stoning in their preferred period. Thus, a high value of lambda leads to balanced capacity utilization and a poor acceptance rate. Similar effects are obtained by the variation of sigma. The smaller we take sigma, the more balanced are the capacity utilization over time. The results are provided via web front-end. For each service office, the timetable and path can be downloaded. Using simulation, we have successfully identified bottlenecks in the infrastructure and have analyzed the impact of infrastructure modification. The results have been applied to form the foundation of major infrastructure projects worth several billion US. We have implemented a discrete time mesoscopic simulation approach for which the road network of Mina has been segmented. Each assignable path is a sequence of segments. So we know for each scheduling group the optimal segments to pass through. In each time step, the demand and supply of a segment is calculated according to the results of an empirical study. The transfer from one segment to the next segment is always the minimum of supply and demand. For each cell, we manage a waiting queue of pilgrim groups. In case of emerging situations, the groups are pushed proportional to the pressure in a segment. The higher the density, the higher the pressure. This relation is illustrated by this example. Today, the industry-leading traffic software company PDV builds on our newly developed microscopic approach to simulate the behavior of millions of pedestrians. With applications ranging from mass events like the Olympic Games to infrastructure risk assessment like the Amsterdam Central Station, our research impact is truly global. Now I hand over again to His Excellency Dr. Habib. He is going to present the results and the impact of our project.
Thank you. As I said before, we need to have both the right and suitable infrastructure with controlling measure and tools and controlling the scheduling. So we have put TV camera, CCTV for monitoring, forecast system. We have also used the radio frequency identification. The RFID is only for the Jamarat, for the metro, not for the Jamarat. And we have to count and control smartphone application and GPS tracking. And we have each year for the dispatching 3,000 person who controlling the scheduling from the camp until the Jamarat. And we have 1,600 for dispatching scheduling program to the metro station. Together we have 4,600 people. And this is just to show you we are doing by the pedestrian flow detection by the video and also by two person who is doing this. And this was a dream for everyone who is working in the Hajj to have a control room that you could see from the end of Muzdalifah until the beginning of Mecca, the pedestrian flow, and to see if there is anything need to be to interfere. And we have here the general security, civil defense, and the expert from Saudi Arabia and outside Saudi Arabia. Just here, we put this in the brochure to say to the pilgrim, you would like to have the old situation, the old problems as it was 2006, or you prefer the new things, no congestion, no crowding? The Pilgrim have given a very civilized and very happy picture. This is useful so if you would like to have this, you should follow the scheduling and take the remarks of the General Security, Civil Defense, and other into consideration. And this was the crowd disaster happened in Duisburg in Germany on the 24th July 2010. Stampede killed people after mass panic before broke out in a tunnel leading to the music festival with 1.4 million visitors. And this is a very famous journal in Germany, The Mirror. The German magazine wrote about what is called anti-panic system in Makkah, advising German authorities to gain from the experience we achieved in Mecca. And this is just to show you that we are doing proceeding for each work, for each meeting, and for each Hajj. We have the brochure and the film in 9 languages. And this has also, we have helped a number of people to do their doctor degree in the dynamics and awareness program. And this is just to show the comparison. This was put in one of the newspaper, in Riyadh newspaper, saying this is old situation. I would like to say that not only the Pilgrim was died, also from the civil defense, from the general security, from the people also who is doing the services, there is a lot of them were died because they would like to rescue and they cannot. And now they are sitting there smiling, joking. And this is in the TV, CNN and other TV. They have make a comparison between 2006, hundreds killed in Hajj stampedes, and now how Saudi Arabia goes with high tech to manage millions during the Hajj. The value is combining proper, suitable, right infrastructure with operation research, crowd management, monitoring and controlling of the scheduling. Impact, innovate approach to organize mass gathering has sparked numerous classroom and research seminar activities at the different Saudi university inside and outside Saudi Arabia, has raised the awareness and for operation research within the government, eased work of thousands of operator agents, is used every Hajj season by numerous of government agencies. The success is a team effort, national and international agency and experts. The benefits of the proper integrating infrastructure, operation research, and management science are, by help of Allah, no overcrowd, no accident happened in Hajj even since 2006, and with high level of comfort and happiness, the people smiling, and some of them, they are taking their children with them, some other taking some food with them. This methodology reduced operation and maintenance cost also. The number of staff and making their duty possible and easy. This project demonstrates that combining proper, suitable infrastructure with and operation research save lives while providing good, comfortable services for the public in huge mass gathering, not only in our country, but all over the whole world. This is just our minister here.
Dear distinguished audience, Assalamu alaikum. It is such a distinct honor to have been recognized and nominated for this prestigious award. During the annual Great Pilgrimage, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia welcomes millions of faithfuls to conduct the Hajj rituals here at the holy sites of Makkah, Mina, and Arafat. This spiritual celebration is the most important religious event for the kingdom and for the whole Islamic world. In the aftermath of the tragic stampede in 2006, we entirely overhauled the infrastructure, organization, and operation to cope with the tremendous logistic challenges of Hajj. Today, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, in collaboration with experts in crowd dynamics and operations research, solves the world's largest, most complex annual pedestrian problem. One thing is evident: the applied optimization tools delivered substantial improvements in safety and convenience for millions of pilgrims. These improvements are praised at the highest political level by our international partners. We welcome further innovative ideas and international collaboration to advance the knowledge about safe mass gatherings for the benefit of humanity. Thank you, and salam alaikum.
Dear distinguished audience, more than 250,000 Egyptians perform the Islamic pilgrim in Mecca each year. For many years, we were very concerned about the safety of our pilgrims. We highly appreciate the huge improvement in infrastructure, organization, and operation of Hajj crowd management. We have seen how analytics and operation research methods have helped to improve the safety and convenience of our pilgrims and millions of Muslims from around the world.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Our security forces are responsible for safety of millions of pilgrims performing Hajj in Makkah al-Mukarramah every year. Our duty required controlling, managing, and looking after pedestrian flow through multi-roads network, leading to the limited entrances to all Jamarat. The new project and the application of operation research have made our mission possible to ensure pilgrim safety and comfort in a healthy environment.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, during Hajj, the metro system transports more passengers per hour than any other metro system in the world. It is clear that an operation of such massive dimensions cannot be handled without proper planning. We appreciate a lot that the scientific teams have approached these planning problems very successfully, using methods of operations research and computation. The established controlling mechanisms with radio frequency identification and smartphone technology allows for adjustments in the scheduling of the pilgrims each year. All these efforts improve the organization, reduce operations and staff costs at the stations. This is very important for these very special days.
Thanks and praise to be to God, and thank you also, my gentlemen and ladies, for your attention.
Thank you very much.